Hi guys, Captain Offer 2. We're gonna talk about a show that I've watched, Netflix, Dracula, Castlevania Season 2, Episode 4, Broken Mast. And we begin with a flashback with Godbrand dreaming about his evil vampire days. Kinda cool. Pretty cool if I say so myself. Really like this episode. Really cool. I will give this episode 10 out of 10 in my opinion. And it reminds me a bit of kind of a Game of Thrones corruption, slow and intelligent corruption, so to speak. Anyway, so he wakes up after his dream and he's like, "I want blood and beer," and pretty cool action though. He was just killing the poor fools, but yeah, he wants blood and beer. So one of the vampire servants basically gives him a pig, and he's like, "Oh God, not a pig!" Not a goddamn pig blood again. And then we continue with Carmilla trying to convince Hector to join him or to join her to basically it's basically like this. Carmilla is basically don't want to you know Dracula is starting to get soft or tired. Technically Dracula doesn't want to fight anymore, kinda. And he also like Carmilla's like, yeah, can you come with me? And it's like Hector's like, no. And they're talking about why Dracula became how he is and the things that we had before with his wife. And Carmilla gives actually some good points. Sorry, my throat. Perfect. Carmilla gives some good points, and Hector is still refusing. He's a very loyal, we could say that. And I like Hector. He's a kind guy. He's not evil. He does what he thinks he does is correct, but maybe not exactly. Sorry, maybe not exactly. And I'm a bit sick, but and tries to convince him, but it doesn't work right now. So basically Carmilla also tries to convince Godbrand before, and she did. That's why Godbrand before this, he said, maybe that Carmilla chick had a good point. I want human blood, not pig blood, pretty much. And yes. And then then we go to the heroes as well. But before that, it was an interesting conversation between Carmilla and Hector, talking about, their stance on their loyalty and stuff, that he likes to do his work and he likes pets. But also, I kind of like Carmilla, but I also don't like her because she's a jackass a bit. Because she thinks that, in their perspective, which I understand, they're mortals, they're vampires. They live longer than humans, but to be fair, Dracula didn't consider his wife as a pet. Secondly, I think it was a bad idea to leave her alone, but like it's better to let her choose what she wants to do than to, try to check on her all the time if she was alive. If Dracula's wife was alive, of course. But so we turn into the heroes after the discussion, and I like the music in this anime. It's kind of an anime. But I like this music anyway of Dracula Castlevania. I really enjoy the show. I give the show 10 out of 10, no questions asked. Anyway, so we go to the protagonists and they talk about their findings about a glass mirror that can see stuff from the distance that they could use to locate Dracula's castle. And Alucard is a bit charming. And also, Trevor Belmont is also charming. All of the characters are pretty charming, and they're discussing about we need to carve out these runes a bit, and yeah, that was Alucard. And Belmont also tries to leave up, or try to make Scythe a bit happy in the beginning of that part, saying, I have a home, you can have my home if you want. And she's like, you know that I'm a person that don't lives in a home exactly. And Alucard basically says, that they are traveling people, that they travel a lot. And he's like, I know, but that was a rhetorical question, says Trevor Belmont after Alucard's report. Hope you enjoyed the video anyway. After Alucard's report. And they talk about, Alucard analyzes the mirror and says, you have a pretty much a giant trash pile. And Trevor Belmont is like, you damn bastard. I don't want to say the word he said in the show, but pretty awesome. I really like the voice actors of these two, and Sci-Fi as well. Sorry, I didn't say her name before. Anyway, I really like the voice actors in the show. 10 out of 10, no question asked, or even 20 million, pretty much. Pretty good. And Sci-Fi's like, taking what was it again? Oh yeah, taking Trevor Belmont away from him is like, you're an adult, damn it, try to discuss, and he's like, he gets on my nerves. He gets on my nerves. He knows how to press the buttons. And he's like, yeah, I know. But he's like, she's like, he likes to be here, but he doesn't like it either. So try to behave, both of you. She tries to say to them, behave, both of you, man. And then they discuss about Trevor's name, Trevor Belmont's name. And I discovered that his first part of the name, Trevor, is actually from an Irish person. Pretty cool. Trefford. And she gives him a nickname, Triffy. Triffy. And he's like, okay. But he's like, no, don't give me that nickname. But he's like, nah, okay then. Okay. You know, Trevor Belmont lacks that nickname. I think he does. He laughed, he had fun in that moment. But I feel a bit sorry for Alucard. He doesn't have a girlfriend. Maybe he gets one. Maybe in the next season. Who knows? Hopefully. I hope he gets a girlfriend though. I hope. Because it's a bit sad. I like the guy. He has awesome weapons. Sorry, I need to drink a second. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, the bad guys, yes. But before that, I wanted to say about a little mention about what I like about Alucard for a second. I like his sword and weapon and outfit. Pretty cool. And the outfit looks like one of the outfits in Skyrim that I found many years ago. One of the outfits, an elf outfit that I found in the game. Anyway, so we begin with the next shift is Isaac and Dracula himself. A flashback. Back in the day where Isaac was in, I think, Arab. I think he was in Egypt or something. It's some form of Egypt structure. And they talk about, do you remember the time when you and I met and the loyalty and basically like, what Dracula did nice for him, saving him against evil humans that wanted to even take Isaac's body parts to use as love potions and shit. And this time period in Dracula is basically like, I think, Middle Ages or something. I'm not sure. Somewhere in between the industrial era or Middle Ages because they have candles and they have technical devices. I'm not sure, but anyway, but it's somewhere in Castlevania. This is basically the desert, and he talks with him, and they talk about their. Did you remember the promise? And he says about the. Do you remember exact words of the promise? And Dracula is a genius, so he does remember. I like that scene because it flashes out more about Isaac and Dracula's relationship with friends and allies, so to speak, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, I like that scene. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the whole episode, to be fair. I really enjoyed the whole episode. It's a bit like watching an animated version of Game of Thrones with type of conflicts and stuff, discussions and conflict and backstabbing, so to speak, so to say. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Have fun time and enjoy. Yes, plotting against. Yes, yes, yes. They are tired of getting no human blood, so they're like, screw this. We're taking our demon horses and going out for hunting. And they're going out for hunting. So we see the different vampires, the yes, the different generals. Sorry, the different generals. We see the one from Arabia, the one from Egypt, the other one from Japan or China. From China, I think it's more China. More of the China vampire, and one from a European vampire guy with armor, and an Indian vampire. It's pretty interesting. I wanted to know more about these vampires. We know their abilities, but I wanted to know more. So they attack this village brutally. They do basically Mortal Kombat brutal. I'm serious. If you have small children, don't watch this episode with them. Seriously, don't watch this episode with them. But it was brutal, but it was awesome. It was awesome because the vampires showed who they are boss. They are boss. And I like that they showed different powers that they have. Some of them like slice them like butter, and I think the vampire from China just went in as mist and just like attack like that. Holy shit! And Godbrand jumped in, get into house, bites down on a guy's neck, eats some of the organs, and the other woman is like, "Holy shit!" And he's like, "Ah." But Dracula is not gonna be happy about this because this is breaking one of his rules. Not kill people we don't need to kill right now. I think he wants to kill every human, but he maybe doesn't want to kill villages that are, the plan is to you have blood with drinking pigs. Remember in the other episode, yeah. He made Godbrand basically scared of his shit with him. In the other episode, he was like, "I am Dracula. Remember that? Do you remember?" I like it. The voice actors in the show are great. Anyway, I really enjoy the music. I really enjoy sorry, hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoy the animation, the characters' distinction, the horses, even the demon horses. I want to live in that world, but I don't want to be a victim of the world. Seriously, I want to be a fighter or something, a sword knight, a knight. I want to live in the Castlevania universe, but I don't want to be food, pretty much. Anyway, we continue. Sorry.
Okay. And Dracula speaks to Isaac
Yes.
about the
Yes, 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 yes. Dracula is speaking about what is happening in the castle, that he's, you know, Dracula is a genius. For example, Alucard talks highly about his father. Basically, Alucard said that Dracula is a philosopher, a genius, and a scientist, three times over of technology and stuff. That basically, in the allegation, no, not allegation, allegation is in Aragon. Damn it, I combined too much. But in the Castlevania universe, basically everyone else has turned into peasants or Middle Ages, while he is more in the industrial age of stuff. He knows about those stuffs. Blood mixing. He's not a bad person. Okay, I can say this. I sympathize with the heroes and the villain. That's actually something really, really great. And Dracula is talking to Isaac. If I remember, he talks about, yeah, I hear the conspiracies around here, the castle. He has guards, people with ears everywhere. And I see, before he goes to Isaac, I see that he transports a cape inside of a forest in a special glass mirror that he marks with his fingers with flames and symbols like this. I cannot do the symbols, but you know the point. And he puts it away, or he pushes it in a in the forest somewhere in an area with a cape, or it's a hoodie on a cape or something. Sorry, there we go. It's some form of hoodie or cape, and I wonder, is that gonna play in season 3? I think that's gonna play because why would they show a simple cape that he takes out of his room, out of his study room, push it in another area in the world, in a forest? It looks very happy and very glad with a simple cape. It's a simple hoodie cape. Maybe Hector is gonna get that sooner or later. Who knows? Food for thought.
So
Anyway, so you talked with Isaac. Sorry for dragging on that cape thing all the time. Damn it. What should I call this? The cape episode. Anyway,
how finishes
yes, yes,
episode?
yes. He talks with Isaac and he says like, "I'm sorry that I lied to what was it again? Damn it. To the other one, that blacksmith with a hammer. Yes, yes. Hector, the pretty good boy, the one that likes animals. He says, "I'm sorry, Isaac, that I lied to Hector about my true intentions with the humans. But he was easy to manipulate because he has a child's mind and a full man's body, unfortunately. You know, I kind of feel sorry for Dracula because he didn't want to manipulate Hector, but he didn't want to tell the gruesome truth either. If you think about it. So what do you think about it, Panay?
Mm, no
He
sé.
didn't want to tell the gruesome truth.
Yo creo que simplemente no puede confiar.
No era malo,
No.
he wasn't evil. It's that he cannot trust anyone. He's isolated inside of his mind. He can trust Isaac and the other guy, Isaac and Hector, but he doesn't even want to trust Hector.
No, no.
That's sad. I like Hector. He's devoted. He's devoted for the cause.
Mm.
He makes creatures of the night, and he makes them loyal to Dracula and himself.
Mm.
Also, Camilla wanted to manipulate him so he could make her own army go to Brela. Yeah, we forgot about that. Go to Brela and attack and basically position the castle so she can invade with her own evil forces.
Mm.
Basically, we could say this episode is basically Game of Thrones with some political scheming, tactical tactician scheming. And Dracula knows about this shit. Like he's a boss. He knows about this shit. He's smart. He's not stupid. But anyway, he basically talks with Isaac about that, and you know, maybe I am not the greatest person, but he says, your wisdom should not be known by anyone by yourself, Dracula. Like, I like Hector. He's a good guy as well, but I understand from his past that he was basically screwed over, if I remember. His past was pretty much fucked up. Pretty fucked up. But anyway, I like that he's very devoted. He says no one should know about your knowledge. Your knowledge is the greatest. You know? Was it that he said something like that?
Oh.
Yes, something like that. It's not easy to explain what he said in the English one, but yeah, but I don't want to explain exactly either. So yeah. And after that, he does his usual routine, whips himself, which is Isaac. He whips himself. But Dracula talks about his life, that basically his mission is only to eliminate the humans because of his love, his wife, and his vengeance. He has no spark of driving. Basically, he's just marching to his death, isn't it?
Oh.
I think he's just marching to his death, which is sad. It's kind of poetic and sad. He's a guy that's immortal, but you know, when you are a guy that loves a wife or something like that, and she dies unjustified like this in the show, or just like this, you basically, I feel kind of the same. If I had a wife, I would be very pissed, and I would maybe want to die if that would happen. If that would happen. Of course, that has not happened, so that's fine.
Mm.
And then Godbrand comes in and tries to snakes and convince Isaac to join them and basically kick off Dracula and let them take over instead. And Isaac responds by basically killing him with a goddamn spike whip, with a goddamn spike belt. And poor Godbrand got eliminated. Aw, I'm sorry, Godbrand. You were awesome the time you were, man.
Mhm.
100 points for you. And the guy that did the voice for Godbrand is from Swedish,
Oh.
one of the Swedish cops series in Channel 6.
Wait, wait,
I
wait,
don't remember his name now.
wait. Done.
Yeah, alright.
Mm.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Have fun time and enjoy.
Peter Stormare.
Peter Stormare did the voice of
Good man.
Godbrand. Very good performance. I will give you 200 points for that. 200 points. And this is the guy. This is the guy that did the voice for him. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry for a second. This is the guy that did the voice for him. Can I sharpen a bit the phone? Come on. There we go. This is the guys that did the voice. Pretty good performance. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. And he dies, and Isaac eliminates him and says, "You traitor." I really like Isaac. He is devoted to what he does, and he's kind of poetic, even if he is dark.
Mm.
Anyway, I really like the show. I will give this episode 10 out of 10. No questions asked, in my opinion. We see you next time. Goodbye, Ad Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Also, I hope Alucard gets girlfriend. Bye.